Hello and welcome to Speaking of Bitcoin, Podcast 2. This is Chet Young, and my goal is to keep you up to date with the latest news and info relating to Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. Hopefully you'll subscribe to my podcast on iTunes. You can find me on iTunes at Speaking of Bitcoin. Just do a search of Speaking of Bitcoin. You can also find us on Spreaker. That's www.spreaker, Spreaker.com/user/Speaking of Bitcoin. Or you can just go to the speakingofbitcoin.com website. Check us out there. And we also have a Twitter account with our Twitter username being Speaking Bitcoin. Going over the latest news and happenings of the cryptocurrency world, let's talk a little bit about Bitcoin and its 80-fold price run-up here recently. Some people believe it's unlikely to last. Offit Capital is one of those. Offit Capital believes other cryptocurrencies will crowd the market, confuse merchants, and send them back to cash and credit cards. Todd Petzel, Chief Investment Officer of the New York-based private wealth management firm, said, "Why should I pay $1,000 for a Bitcoin when I can acquire BBQ coin for $10 or a hobo nickel for 10 cents? They are all costless to produce and consequently, ultimately, worth as much." Mr. Petzel is saying Bitcoin, in his opinion, is worthless. And, with Bitcoin being $1,000 per Bitcoin, I'm not sure he's getting it quite yet. Maybe down the road, who knows, maybe Bitcoin doesn't make it. But right now, the time, energy, and effort that's being put in Bitcoin, I don't know that I agree with him. He further states Bitcoins fall short as a viable currency because there is a finite supply. The software that creates Bitcoins dictates there can only be 21 million in circulation. Well, that's interesting. I suppose gold is worthless as well since there's a finite supply. If you want to take Mr. Petzel's analysis of Bitcoin, I just don't think this guy gets it. Picasso, he says a Picasso drawing could sell for 1 Bitcoin and a Starbucks latte for 1/1,000,000th of a Bitcoin, he said. An absolute fixed quantity of currency in circulation is a recipe for extreme deflation and all the problems that come with it. I think this guy's lost it. An overabundance is a recipe for deflation? I don't get it. If the U.S. government keeps printing more and more money, let's think of it this way. The dollar goes down in value. Come on, this is basic economics here. I think it's better to have a limited supply of Bitcoins than an unlimited supply of dollars that the government just prints on a whim. Think about it. The fact that Bitcoin is highly divisible makes it even more attractive. With Bitcoin being right now out to 8 digits, with a limited 21 million Bitcoins, we can pay for anything based on whatever the rate we want to pay for it at. And if a Bitcoin goes to $10,000 a Bitcoin, so be it. It's highly divisible, easy to use. But if Bitcoin doesn't make it, it won't be because of the reasons this Mr. Petzel has outlined. Now, from Forbes magazine, Bitcoin has declined from $1,350 to $1,200 per Bitcoin in the last 11 months. That's a 5,000% increase in less than a year. The Wall Street Journal ran an article that asked, should you invest in Bitcoin, and printed a Wall Street special section, Bitcoin or bust. Their article went on to say, why not buy and hold some Bitcoin? But a lot of people are worried that Bitcoin won't last, and this article goes on to talk about the Bitcoin theft, that online criminals target an easy payday after value of Bitcoin is quadrupled in the last 3 weeks. This article mainly was dealing with taxes in Bitcoin. The government sees it as a bartering system. If you provide service or sell goods for Bitcoins, you have income. So is Bitcoin appreciation taxable? Currency wouldn't be. If a dollar was worth $1 and then the dollar appreciated to $1 was worth $1,200, then it wouldn't be taxable. We don't know how the IRS views Bitcoins at this time. It could be property, barter, foreign currency, or financial instrument. Barter seems most logical, but most don't agree. Right now, most Bitcoin transactions probably aren't on the tax radar. The IRS may not know about your swap unless you receive a Form 1099. Still, the IRS says you must report any income on your return whether or not you receive a Form 1099. For you minors, you might want to take note of this. FinCEN says you should register as a money service business and comply with anti-money laundering regulations. I wonder how many of us as minors are actually registering as a money service business. That's interesting. I'm sure most people don't know that they need to do that. Stay tuned, though. As Bitcoin grows, so will government regulation and involvement. It's one thing that we can count on. I mean, if there's money to be made in it and the government sees a way they can get a piece of it, people count on it. It's going to happen. Bitcoin Hedge Fund. This is from Hedge Week. This is interesting. The Bitcoin Fund, which is traded exclusively on the Exante Fund platform and was launched in late 2012, is the best performing hedge fund year to date with a return. Get this, 4,847%. You hear that? 4,847%. I wonder what that Mr. Petzel of Offit Capital thinks about that. The Bitcoin Fund gives institutions and high net worth individuals secure and real-time access to the Bitcoin market with a licensed, regulated product. The Bitcoin Fund's assets under management currently total over $35 million. If interested, you might want to check it out at exante.eu. That's exante.eu. exante.eu, exante.eu. Forbes also had an article on Bitcoin mining. Uses $15 million worth of electricity every day. That's kind of amazing. There's a lot of energy and effort being put into this currency. The annual electricity cost is about 50% of the value of the total outstanding value of Bitcoins mined thus far. The estimate is based on power consumption of 650 watts per gigahash and 15 cents per kilowatt. I also ran across another interesting website, fiatleak.com. That's fiat, F-I-A-T, leak, L-E-A-K.com. That is a real-time map analysis of Bitcoin transactions by country. It gathers its data from 12 sources: Mt. Gox, Bitstamp, BTC China, BTC-E, Bit2C, Mercado Bitcoin BR, Local Bitcoins, OKCoin, and BTC Trade. It shows which countries and currencies are moving in and out of Bitcoin in real time. It's a really neat site. Keeps a running total of Bitcoins for the day. It's pretty cool. Also, another website you might want to check out would be coinmarketcap.com. That's coinmarketcap.com. That is a cryptocurrency market capitalizations website. Bitcoin isn't the only cryptocurrency. This site has a list of 43 currencies with a combined market cap of over $15 billion listed in order of market cap. Currently, Litecoin is second to Bitcoin, with Bitcoin being about 12 times larger than Litecoin. After those two, Peercoin, P-E-R-C-O-I-N, comes in third. Litecoin is 7.5 times larger than Peercoin. If you're a cryptocurrency believer and you think there's room for more than one cryptocurrency, or if you believe BTC may not be the one that wins out, then this is a good site to help you start your research. And one last thing for this podcast, there's a new virus called CryptoLocker. And this is where hackers are demanding ransom for basically infecting your computer. What they do is they go in and the virus gets into your computer, it encrypts the data on your hard drive, and then they've got the private key where they can decrypt your hard drive, but to do that, they demand a ransom for it. We've got a new term called ransomware. So you need to make sure that you're backing up your computer systems, because what will happen is if they encrypt your computer, a little screen will pop up demanding a ransom for them to decrypt your data. And they're charging anywhere from $100 to $300 to do it, or 2 Bitcoins. And a lot of times they do this. They also do this pay through MoneyPack, a site that offers prepaid credit cards. they give you X amount of time to pay them, or they claim that they delete the private key and you'll never get your data back. If the deadline's not met, again, the malware offers to decrypt data via an online service provided by the malware operators for a significantly higher price in Bitcoin. Although CryptoLocker itself is readily removed, files remain encrypted in a way which researchers have considered infeasible to break. So again, you need to make sure that you back up your data. Many say that the ransom should not be paid, but do not offer any way to recover the files. So I think most people right now are paying the fees, but again, we keep warning you, back up your files. Others say that paying the ransom is only the way to recover the files that have not been backed up. Much of the time, the virus comes as an attachment to an email. The attachment is often a fake FedEx and UPS tracking notice. Again, be extremely wary of those type of emails. The good news is that authorities have been finding and taking down the computer systems, sending out CryptoLocker emails. Reports on Monday indicated that some 138 of these systems have been found and blocked. So please beware of funny-looking emails and back up your data file regularly, especially your Bitcoin private keys. This has been about a 12 or so minute quick update on cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. Thank you for listening to Speaking of Bitcoin as I keep you up to date on the world of cryptocurrency and Bitcoin.